Welcome to our Breakthrough Podcast, coming to you live from Ohio, taking you from a breakdown to a breakthrough, from pain to purpose, from your past to living your greatest story. Stay locked in. I'm your host, vernaetaylor. Welcome. You are listening to our Breakthrough Podcast. I am your host, vernaetaylor, and we've got an amazing treat today. But for those that are just tuning in for the first time, our Breakthrough Podcast is really a safe space where we will show you the breakthrough map so that you can get from pain to purpose, breakdown to breakthrough, from your past to living your greatest story. And I am super duper excited about the guest we have tonight, because she's a dear friend and she knows all about breakthroughs. So you are going to get some gems. Make sure that you have your pad. Make sure you have a pen so that you can take these notes. We have Yolanda Yvette. How are you, honey? How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much, Vernay. You know I love you and the red lipstick, honey. That's your trademark.
I put it on for you.
If you didn't have it on, I would have been upset. You know, okay, I would have said something.
I'm glad I put it on, because I tell you, it's been a rough day. It's been a rough one, but we made it happen. And this red lip makes me feel, alive and feel like a superwoman. So I had to do it for you.
Oh.
So tell the people who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Yolanda Yvette, and I'm Yolanda Yvette Speaks, which you can find me on yolandayvetterspeaks.com. That's who I am, but we'll go over that later. I am a motivational speaker. I'm a professional motivational speaker. I am a mother of two daughters, 18 and 10. Like, that's a huge age gap, right? That's crazy. So apparently, I've been motivating people without even knowing it for years, even when it comes to my children or just being around people. So that's what I do, which I love doing. I came to find out that I'm passionate about helping people. Yes. And this is the way that I'm able to help people. I'm gonna say break through, because that's what we're doing, right? We're breaking through.
That's right.
I'm helping people by the way of motivating them to break through whatever their challenges are.
Absolutely. Yes. Well, first of all, I love it. You said that you're a motivational speaker. You were motivated before you knew it, honey. Don't we know it that we have been designed to do the things that we're doing, that we're just stepping into now, that we could have possibly, discovered a long time ago. I don't know. Are you hearing that echo? Okay. I'm hearing an echo. I don't know if it's me, but yeah, so it's amazing that you discovered it. So I want to take us back. Tell us when you discovered this gift that you had, and when you said, you know what, I've been doing this for a while and I need to get paid for this, or I need to really make this a profession. Tell us about that turning point.
That's so crazy. I started rubbing my hands together like, because it's crazy when people always found themselves coming to me, asking me for advice, or just wanting to talk to me, or just to hear what I had to say, because I'm going to give it to you unsugar-coated, the way it is, how it should be. I'm not just the yes person, just telling you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, and what you want to hear, and what you don't want to hear. You know what I'm saying? All at the same time. But at the end of the day, you're going to be like, it's going to make you think. And let me check myself. And sometimes I have to tell myself too, when I'm talking to people, like, ooh, I just got real reckless. Oh, well, we here,
She is not lying, I promise you.
Right. But to know me is to love me, and to know that I'm coming from a good place with it. I'm not just jumping on you or hard. I want you to be better than you were yesterday. That is my goal in life, is to be better than I was the day before. And so that's what I want for anyone that I come in contact with, is to be better than they were the day before. So I remember being at a job that I was at, and I was working in an office, and people were always just coming to me, just talking about their day. Like, their day didn't get started until they came and found me just to talk about whatever happened the night before. And I sat there and I thought about it, like, this happens all the time. It was just an ongoing everyday thing. Like, if I wasn't there, they would ask, hey, where's Yolanda? Even at past jobs, I was like, this is an occurring thing, that I'm always the one who shows up for people. I'm always the one people want to go to when they need to vent. I'm that person. I'm like, okay, all right. So I don't know what happened. I ended up just saying, you know what? I got this. I think I kept running from what I was supposed to be doing.
Okay. Now, why were you running? Do you know?
I don't, cause you know what? It's the word hospitality that got me, because every time I took every kind of test, it always was like hospitality. Oh my God, do hospitality. But then somebody broke it. I mean, every test was always like, you're good at hospitality. And then someone broke it down to me. They're like, Yolanda, you're looking at this wrong. Like, you make people feel comfortable. You make people feel welcome. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it owns me. I need to be an usher.
Because I was thinking hospitality hotels, so we are different.
Listen, I thought about all of it. I was like, so I mean, I need to be an usher. I need to be serving, cake and punch after church. I need to be doing vacation Bible school. I need to be in the hotel industry. I never thought about that till someone said, you make people feel so welcome and comfortable. And I was driving, Lyft and Uber and things like that. And I would get people in my car all the time, and they would say, it's something about you. They like, I do not talk to my drivers, but it's something about you that makes me just want to talk. And they would talk and talk and talk until we got to their destination. And they would always say, they're like, I don't know what it was, but all you asked me was like 2 questions, and I found out stories about their childhood. I know secrets. Listen, I need to write a book, Secrets of Lyft Drivers. The stories that y'all don't know. Buddy, and it's like somebody was like, I've been waiting to tell somebody this, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, oh, okay. And it was like some stuff, And I was like, I'm glad I'm able to make people feel comfortable, and I think that's what really drew me into it was, when I became that Lyft driver, like, I can do this. I'm motivating people all the time and not even realizing I'm doing it. And it becomes, it's so easy to me. So easy. And, being a public speaker, I think I'm doing that because I'm doing the one thing most people fear.
Absolutely.
And I love that I'm doing the one thing most people fear.
Yeah. Talk about that. Talk about the idea of conquering fear. And how you built up this strength. How did you find the courage? Were you always like this as a child? Tell the people, because I'm telling you, you don't just, contrary to what we think, when Beyonce said, I wake up like this, it's not always that easy. So tell people about that.
No, I was always the shy, reserved child. So what ended up happening is one time I grew up in church, so you either are on the usher board or you gonna sing in the choir.
That's true.
That was it.
Or you're dancing, praise dancing.
Or it was dancing. Or we came into the praise dancing a little bit later, but I had to do that too. So I was in the choir and I did that, still singing in the background. Wasn't my thing. You know what? Because everybody got gifts and talents. That's not mine, but all my friends and everything was in the choir, so might as well. And it was one Sunday, my pastor, I don't know where he got this bright idea from, was to allow the youth to do like a little sermonette. Oh. And so he would just call out names, like two people, you're going to do this Sunday. Then next month you find out that your name was called. I'm like, oh, he called my name one time. I said, oh, what? Not me, not the one who was shy. Oh, no. Not the one who had led a song before and forgot the words midway through. Not me. And so I am such a procrastinator that I didn't start writing it until like the last minute. I mean, very last minute. I went out and got my red suit. Okay.
Oh gosh. So how old were you at this point?
I was a teen. I was a baby teen. Okay. But that suit was nice. It was a 2-piece. I remember it was flat. Ooh. So I walked up. Listen, I walked up there, and especially already hearing what other people had did prior months, I'm like, no, I have to go up there and kill it. That was my thoughts. Like, I will not. So I went up there and I was just reading, and I was like, I know what I'm talking about because these are my words. So at some point, something shifted, and I don't know what it was. And I was just boom, just talking and, using hands and, using my voice and,
Okay.
you know, accentuated. It was crazy. And I got such a great response. And it's so funny that people still remember certain parts of my story
Oh wow.
till this day, till this day. And so that is what gave me my first push, because I remember being in high school and we had to do an assignment where we had to talk about something. We had to do like a book report. And I told my teacher, I was like, listen, his name was Mr. Scott. And I said, I know we're supposed to do it like, 3 minutes, 5, but I'm going to be done in about a minute. Just let you know, 45 seconds on me.
Teacher what you because
I was so nervous, so I was like, it's going to be just like I'm just going to talk, right? And so the fact that I came from that person that was just like to speaking in front of a congregation to now speaking to whoever, how many people I'm in front of now is crazy, because I have people who knew me back when and they're like, you do what? You not the shy girl. And I'm like, yeah, like it's amazing to me how far I've come. And the fear, I don't even know how I overcame that fear. It literally was a switch. Like it just, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Only but the grace of God, I guess. He was like, girl, no, let me take this from you. Let me take this from you. Let me put this in you and deliver. Because I have no idea how I did that, because my mother, she is somebody who is like paralyzed, of speaking in front of people.
Yeah, like you said, most people are.
Yeah, she's just like, I'm glad that you are able to do that, because we had that tendency to fear being laughed at or messing up a word or not knowing the answer, because I had talked about that before. A lot of times it's still our fear of speaking in public stems from when we were children, when we used to laugh at the person for messing up the word or getting the answer wrong. So we no longer want to speak.
Or the person that stuttered. I mean, I know that was.
Or the person who stuttered. Right. Or the person who stuttered, and it's uncontrollable. So it's just like all those things tend to grow into us as an adult, because we never really overcame it, because we may have been the person who was laughing at that person. So now we don't want that to be us.
Right.
So we just like, never mind, don't worry about it. Because I used to be the person who would read a couple paragraphs ahead. I would count the people in the row and be like, okay, they're going to give me paragraph, this one right here. So let me go ahead and practice it in advance. So when it gets to me, I sound like I'm ready to go.
Look at you. Who knew you was already a practicing public speaking person before you even hit that stage of hundreds? Oh man, that's amazing. So that is Yolanda Yvette Speaks. Talk about a little bit, who is Yolanda Yvette? What does her life look like? What were those challenges? I love that you said that you talked about the fear, right? You talked about the fear, and essentially what happened was you just got pushed out there. You just had to confront it. You had no choice. You just made it work once you were pushed in that direction. So talk about how that correlates to Yolanda Yvette, the woman, the young woman, the adult, going into your womanhood.
That is so funny, because I never really thought about being pushed like that. But I remember it's a story when I was in swimming lessons. I took swimming lessons 5 times, y'all, and I did not pass, because I was afraid of the deep. Listen, I was afraid of the deep end, period. Like I was not doing it. You hear me? So 5 times, and my mom got tired of taking me out there, and it was the last class, and my dad took me this time. It was like, this is where you passed your test. It was like either fail or pass. This was it. I kept being the last person to go, because the last thing you had to do was swim in the deep end. And I was just like, nope, no. And I was out there. I don't know how long I was out there just, no, I don't want to. What if I do? What can I swim on the edge? Can I swim out one thing? My dad hauled up, jumped up, and threw me in that pool. Okay. I did not know. He just, and then he was like, you ain't drowned, did you?
That's what they say you need to do to kids when they're young. Go ahead and do it.
Listen, I had, and I was just like, that was a thing. I've been pushed all my life and didn't even know it, just pushed into it. And now I swim in the deep end. And I mean, it took me, I had to almost drown a couple times, but now I know how.
Oh Lord, poor thing.
That's a story for another day. But now I know how to, because I got the proper training again to do it. That goes back to, you know, who Yolanda Yvette is some people will look at my life and be like, oh girl, you had it easy. But I always say you can't compare. Yeah, I was like, but you always can't compare because people only allow you to see what they want you to see.
Right. Okay.
And that's the thing. I'm that quote unquote strong friend, you know, that they keep saying you need to check on, because I don't always wear my emotions on my sleeve, but in the inside I could be screaming and crying and no one would ever know, which is just literally you're drowning from the inside out because you're not letting your emotions out. And I think that sums up like my childhood to my adulthood, because like I went through so much stuff that I think I self-inflicted on myself, as well as things that were put on me that I had to, like, even when it comes to domestic violence, I had to like shift my mind and thinking, okay, Yolanda, if you didn't do this, then this wouldn't have happened. Right? I was playing the blame game and blaming myself.
Okay. Were you blaming yourself?
Oh, I blame myself all the way. Like, girl, if you ain't never even go there that day, you never even would have met this person. Like, I did all of that. I was just, I was bad with it. It was a spiral. It was a downward, you know, spiral for me, because it all stemmed back from low self-esteem.
Okay,
so I'm like,
talk about that, because listen to me. You can't just skate over that, because we're talking to the motivational speaker. We're talking about the person that just hit the stage and was just talking, and you're like, I'm going off script because these are my words. Nowhere in that or in your story did it say low self-esteem. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, I was just talking to my daughter today about low self-esteem, because it stemmed from childhood, because I had, you know, again, dark skin tone, short,
so pretty, so pretty brown skin.
It's so crazy that I am still short hair and dark skin. And I did not like my skin, because again, I grew up in the 80s. I was born 1980. So light skin, long hair was in. That was it. That's all people wanted. That's all the boys liked. That was considered beautiful. The dark skin tone was not. And there was a time I grew up in Alaska, so that would tell you enough. Also, too.
I don't even know. Are there black people in Alaska?
They are. We were there. I guess
so maybe it was the only black family.
So, you know, that didn't aid in anything. It didn't help that I had a Jerry curl as well. You know, it's just a lot of stuff. Just girl, listen, I could have did a commercial.
I need to see the pictures.
No, ma'am. We
should have inserted the pictures.
No, ma'am. You know, so growing up and thinking like I'm ugly. I mean, I had a whole I Am Ugly song that I created.
Oh no.
I did, and I was like, nobody loves me, everybody hates me. Like, that was part of my lyrics. You know, and so it wasn't until, you know, my parents, my mom, I was like, you're beautiful. You got to say that because you're my mom. That was my because no one, I think I got validation from boys at that age. Nobody was checking for me at all. But the light skin, long hair was the thing. I'm looking at TV. Light skin, long hair.
Right.
You know, matter of fact, let's go back to the movie School Days with the jigaboos.
Oh my gosh, that's my movie. What y'all know about? Talking about good and bad. Oh my.
See,
God.
Hello, and I'm like, okay, so that's me. That's I'm looking at me.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to get a perm, so I relate. I can relate.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm looking at me, and they're calling the dark skin, really textured hair girl like the ugly ones.
Right.
I'm like, okay, and who's calling them that? The light skin ones. So, hey, colorism. Here we go.
Right. Oh, that's a whole other talk. Yep.
You know, so it wasn't until I moved to Virginia and I walked into my church at the time, and there was this dark skin tone lady. She was singing. And I walked in, I was just like, oh my gosh, she is so pretty. I mean, she could sing too, but it was something. I was like, it's something about her that makes her so pretty to me.
Wow.
And that was the moment I started to see my own skin tone differently.
Oh wow.
And she's you know, like she's a couple shades darker than me, but I was just like, that was the moment I walked into that church and I saw her. I was just like, she's pretty.
Yeah.
She's pretty to me. She's pretty to me. She may not be pretty to anybody else, but she's pretty to me. And it changed my whole mindset at that moment of my own self, of my skin tone. Now I still had to fight the low self-esteem because that didn't really, it didn't switch right away. And I still battled with the, oh, he thinks I'm cute. Oh, he think I'm cute. So then now I started acting, oh, because he thinks I'm cute. Now I have him, or he wants me. Oh, he wants me.
Okay.
And that's a whole different that. Oh, he wants me. And now they prey upon that.
Oh wow.
And I got preyed upon because it was like, oh, now I got her. I can do anything I want to her because she's gullible because of her low self-esteem.
Wow.
So listen.
Now, how old were you when you started seeking this validation and guys are noticing you and like you say, you felt preyed on? What was the transition that when you, because you said domestic violence, that's major. Like
I was 50, my first bout of domestic violence was of domestic violence. It was 15, 16 Yolanda, when it first happened.
You were a baby.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. 15, and like
16. Oh my God. Yeah. I'm so sorry you went through
16 might be pushing it. I think 16 may be pushing it. And my parents just found out about this too. And it was, I'm like, I don't even want to talk about it. Like, but it was crazy because one of the members of my church saw what was going on. And I don't even know if he remembers this, but I remember it like it was yesterday. And he just happened to like ride up on his bike and was like, leave her alone. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, huh. Like, I don't know. And they're just like, why me? I've always had like a why me complex. And that was my first thing, was that about 15. And it always just snowballed into the low self-esteem was always just singing in the background. You know, even that smile on my face, or people say, oh, you're so pretty, singing in the background.
Because I tell you, I mean, when you say, oh, you know, this low self-esteem, or, you know, just you feeling like you weren't good enough because of the shade of your skin, it's like none of these things do they show up in this person that I love. You know, it's a beautiful thing to see, like how you evolved. You would never ever know that you ever encountered these things, that you walked through these things, because my goodness, look at you, you're here. And you always, like you said, you always have a smile on your face. You're always encouraging other people. So you would never know that you even carried these things. How did you get to the person that I know so well? How did you get the person that people love, that people can look to, like, for the strength that they need? Because I'm telling you, that low self-esteem, I don't see her. I don't see the person that needs validation. I don't see this person that is, you know, down and out. Who is that? Because that's the one I love. I tell you, and nobody sees this other part of what you went through.
They don't, because when certain people find out like certain parts of my story, they're like, what? Wait, what?
I know,
like it catches them off guard. So I really don't believe I found myself, my true self, until my husband passed away, and I was 31. No, I wasn't. I was 28. No, I was 31. I don't know what I'm thinking. That was 28. Yeah, okay. I was 31 when he passed
away, not when you guys got married. Why was it when he passed away?
Because I feel like our marriage wasn't the best. Okay. And I feel like there was a lot of, I lost myself along the way over the years, because again, that relationship started too when my self-esteem was extremely low too, because I was like, I'm like, oh, he's fine and he liked me. Woo! Okay. See, there we go again. You know.
I know what you mean. I can relate. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a lot that happened in that span of us being together of all those years, and then it was I I had to find my voice, and people knew that there was a lot of stuff going on in my relationship with him that I didn't even know they were paying attention to. And so after he passed, they were like, "You're different. You're different. There's something about you that's different." They're like, your clothes that you're wearing are different. It's different. It's not like, oh, they was revealing. They were brighter. They were like, look at the color that you're wearing. You're wearing a pink shirt, and you always wore like neutral blacks. And I was like, what? They were like, no, seriously, go look at what you have on and look at. I was like, huh.
You showed up differently.
I didn't even know.
And I love you in color because you look great in color. I always say that you look great in pink.
Thank you. You do. Like, I didn't even know that I was doing that subconsciously. So I'm like, oh, okay. So then I've been through so much, and I try to tell people, I don't like to help people in things I've never been through. Like, don't tell me how to lose weight if you never had a weight loss problem.
I know that's right.
Don't. If you don't know what it's like to eat Oreos, you ain't supposed to eat Oreos at 3:00 in the morning, but you woke up just to eat some Oreos, you know, and you in there with the refrigerator door open.
And one and two, you ain't never had to been overweight.
Right. Ain't got the nerve to try to tell me. I don't want to hear it. You don't know. The struggles are not really the same. And I get it. You may say they are, but they're not. And so I'm like, since I've been through so many different things, even when it comes to, like I said, losing my husband at a young age, being a single mother,
wow,
like just overnight, within 1 minute, I became a single mother, and just dealing with just a lot of outside turmoil and family stuff, just so much stuff. And it really was, I became my true self after that. And I was like, I want to become a more positive person. It was one of my friends. He had told me, he was like, I really wouldn't smile. And he always was like, why not smile? Why not? And I was like, And I had to ask myself, why not smile?
Okay.
It's easy to not smile, just to be like, I don't feel like it, which puts off, you look mean and you're mad and whatever, because I've had strangers asking me, what's wrong with you? You okay? Somebody was driving down the street and it was like, smile. I was like, ooh.
What? How they all up in your face while they drive?
I have no idea. I was in a grocery store just walking to go get some milk, and a man followed me back to the milk and was like, are you okay? I'm like, I just came to get some milk. I thought I was fine, you know, but apparently I wasn't. And my friend was like, that's how you come off to the world. That's how you show up. Like, you're angry and you're mad all the time. Why not smile? And I was just like, but what's there to be smiling about all the time? And he was like, what's there to be frowning about all the time? Wow. I was like, oh.
And I can't picture you any other way. Like, I know you by your smile.
Everybody says that. People are like, your smile is so pretty. I don't see it.
And that's how I know you. I think of your smile. That's crazy. That
it's hereditary. My family has, especially my dad's side, has big smiles, and it's and I was looking at a Zoom of them when we were all Zooming. I was just looking at them like, yep, they're my family. That's
I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. Well, let's couple up and reiterate some of the things that you said, because first of all, it's super powerful. I'm so much that I learned about you today. So many layers to who you are. There's more than meets the eye. I love that you've gotten arrived to this place, into this person that can be positive, smiling, you're pouring into other people. And like you said, you're being authentically you, because you're not telling them to walk through and break through anything that you haven't gone through. And you have the stripes, you have the scars, you got that story, you got the hat and the t-shirt. And so I just applaud you for the woman that you are, and that the courage that you had to even talk about your story, to share it, and to stand in your truth. And then to come out the way that you are, not even looking like what you've been through. That is something. You do not look like what you've been through. And this is why, like you said, unless you open up to people, nobody would know. Nobody would know based off of your personality, the way that you show up in the world. So let's talk about some of the things that you said that I thought that just really resonated with me. And anybody that's listening, like I said, take out your pen and your pad, because you need to write this down. First of all, I
Wait, hold on, Renee. Hold on. I have to say this because I didn't even think about this until you said it. And listen, I am somebody who was like, it's in the Bible somewhere between Genesis and Revelations. I don't know, page, 323. I don't
you
know.
will not say the beginning and the end.
You're like, it was somewhere between in the beginning and amen. I don't know. So listen. So you remember the guy who was thrown into the furnace, but he came out, he ain't smell like no smoke, no nothing.
I know what you're talking about. Well, it was a few of them because there was a few of them. Was there 2 of them in there? They had the really hard.
Yeah, then it was the 8.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Abednego, something like that.
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm just like, in the fiery furnace. That was it. So listen. So when you said that, like, you don't look like what you've been through. I don't smell like the smoke. Yeah. Like my clothes are not burnt.
Yep.
My skin is not burnt. You know, when you go into even a bonfire, you come out smelling, your hair just smell like smoke for days. Mm-hmm. You know, even if you wash it. And I'm like, wow, I don't look like what I've been through. Now, granted, do I feel like balling up in the corner and crying my eyes out and not doing nothing and laying? We all have those days. Yeah. And I have to remind myself when I get into those moments, because I really wish that I could sometimes, but I never allowed myself to do that. Even when he passed away, I don't think I could, because I was like, I have 2 kids I got to keep pushing for. I got to keep going for it.
But now, how did you deal with that grief though? Because at some point, did you talk to somebody?
Child, I talked to many people, and let me tell you something. Counseling is like dating. Because you have to find the right one.
This woman I know, guys. She's so funny. She's so comical. I laugh all the time. Okay.
Because it's true. Like, you have to find the right one, and you have to break up with some of them. And when I'm telling you my story, ma'am, I do not need you to be like, oh my God. Really? How did you get there? Oh, I don't need you. Are not the one for me. You were. Well, we can walk through the front. I'm not making another appointment.
So this is the first date, and I'll never see you again.
You will not see me again. You will not see me again. Like, why are you crying? Like, what? I'm like, where are the tissues? Let me hand you one. Like, I went through many different counselings, and I probably still need to go back to some. I'm still trying to find that really good one. There's one, and I love her, and she's in Florida, but we can Zoom and all that, and she's just amazing, Dr. Tasha. Okay. Shout out her. But a lot of my friends, a couple of my friends had actually helped me out more than anything.
Good.
Because they didn't judge me.
Okay. Wow.
They did
that's
not
important.
Judge me, and they made me question myself on certain things, and I'm like, okay, and that is what helped me. Okay. Was a bit of my story. You may know him, or you may know her, or you may know them, and it was just like, I'm not here to judge you. Like, if you need to cry. I'm like, I don't want to cry. They're like, why not? Rather than, what would you cry for?
Feel it.
No one said, what you crying for? They were like, you need to cry.
Yeah.
Get it out. So I'm like, I don't know if I went through the grief stages in the order that I should have, okay, or there's no time frame for them. Also, some people think that,
right, of course, right? You
should be done within like a week or 2 weeks, a month. What you waiting for? Like, I feel like there's still times that you still go back and you still want to cry because you may miss something, or whatever the loss is. It's not necessarily just the loss of my husband. It was like a loss of friends, a loss of jobs, a loss of myself.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even think about, I actually had to mourn the loss of myself, because again,
yes,
I lost.
That was a piece of you when I
lost myself for years. So I'm like, ooh, so now I have to come to, when I came to my true self, I'm like, I have to learn who this person is. Because I don't even, like, even my favorite color changed. Because I was just like, what's your favorite color? Blue. Because blue is, my sapphire. I'm a September 5th. Hey, y'all, don't forget my birthday presents, whatever. But now it's, my favorite color is Caribbean ocean blue. You know what I'm saying? Like,
excuse me. Like, what? Well, first of all, where did you find that Caribbean ocean blue? I need to know.
I don't even know if that's the official Crayola crayon color, but
It
when
is
I
not,
was
but
when I was in the Bahamas, when I was in the Bahamas, I
oh,
was
I
like,
love this. You're
this
funny.
water is so pretty. I'm like, this water is so pretty. When I was in the Bahamas, I was like, this is my color.
So
This is my
descriptive.
favorite color.
I love it. I love it.
Caribbean ocean blue. I'm like, so I had to learn me all over again.
Oh my God, I love it. Oh my God, I love it. Well, listen, we got to let's pick up what you put down. Okay, let's pick up and put
Go
what
ahead,
you put
girl.
down. First of all,
I'm gonna be quiet.
I love that you said you made a decision. You made a decision, like you said, to be more positive. And you gave us examples, key examples, vivid examples. I could picture you in the supermarket saying, "I'm just trying to get some milk." Honey, smile. I've heard that and I've seen that before and I've experienced that, so I could totally relate. So the fact that you made a decision, you were deliberate in knowing that, you know what, maybe they're onto something. Maybe it's something I need to consider. Maybe the same reason and the energy that goes into frowning is the same energy and reason that can go into smiling. And I'm so glad you did that because, like I said, I know you by smile. Everybody knows you by your smile, right? So I can't imagine it being any other way. I love that you talked about finding your voice and finding your voice, really being propelled and pushed out there to really find it. You had no choice, right? I love the example about the swimming. You know, it almost is, it correlates to when the pastor puts you out there, like, oh, well, you're going to be doing your sermonette, and that's just what it is. Or you're going to be doing this report, and no, it's not going to be just a minute. It needs to be this time. And you were really propelled to just show up and show out. And I love that you even mentioned showing up for yourself and the way that you even dress differently and got into colors because it was almost like a new life, a new you after this loss, after shedding away at this old person. Like you said, you lost yourself and your identity and that piece of yourself. So thank you, first of all, for being so candid and being so transparent and sharing that with us because it's not easy to share. These weren't easy experiences that you actually had to live through, right? And to live through and survive and make it out on the other side to tell your story is amazing. I love that in the beginning, this is what you said. And I don't even know if you realized that you said this. I always wanted to be better than who I was or the way I was the day before. And that to me is like a profound perspective on life. That's all we need to do. We want to be ever evolving. We know the world is constantly changing around us, but it's more important that we do the work to get to the other side and to make that next step because there's no way that you could have been the same Yolanda that you were at 15 to 16 to 31 when you lost your husband to now being a mother, a single mother. Like there's no possible way that you could have been the same throughout all of those experiences of your life. So I love that you said that. I love that you're wearing new colors, honey. I love that you're smiling. I love that you're pouring into other people, that you're finding your voice and really giving people the space to find theirs, right? Because when you motivate people, it helps them to show up the way that they need to be authentically themselves. So kudos to you. Please tell the people how they can get in contact with you, where they can find you, and what in your business right now are you promoting?
Child, I don't remember any of those questions that you just asked me
I
to
know,
take.
I know, I know. You're fine. So first of all, tell the people how they can find you.
Okay. So I'm Yolanda Yvette Speaks on every platform that there is. You're gonna find me on Facebook, Yolanda Yvette Speaks. You're gonna find me on Instagram, Yolanda Yvette Speaks. You can just probably type in Yolanda Yvette, you're gonna find me. YolandaYvette.com, you'll find me.
Yes.
So
Okay.
Yolanda Yvette Speaks at gmail.com. You will
Okay.
find me. Like that's probably one of the best. I always check my emails all the time. So if you want to write to me, go ahead and write to
Okay.
me. Again, that's YolandaYvetterspeaks.com or
Awesome. Now, what in
at
your
Gmail.
business are you promoting right now?
Well, listen, I love to moderate stuff. I love emceeing events and hosting events of that nature.
Yeah.
And also, just being the motivational speaker that I am. Just, people they want me to come and do speaking engagements for them. So I'm available for all of those speaking engagements. Um, I'm also have a affirmation, if you want to call it that, journal that's going to be coming out
Woo.
soon. again, and I'm just like, oh,
And
I
don't
might
you
just
have some? A little birdie told me
better
you
than
have
the day
some
before.
other books coming out, like children's books.
I do. I have a children's book that is coming out that's dealing with public speaking on a school-based level of like on the elementary school level, so we can
I
get
love
the
it.
kids, more comfortable and interested in public speaking, because this generation they're
Honey,
so on their phones, they don't
they
even
need
look
work.
up at
Nope.
anymore. They're on their, I mean, your face chat, was it FaceTiming with them, and you're looking at the ceiling
Yeah.
fan because they don't even want to look at
Yeah.
the phone anymore.
Honey,
So
they don't know how to write a
yeah,
word, the full spelling, because they got
they
autocorrect, and then the
they do
conversations.
not.
Oh my goodness,
Nope.
that is
So
awesome.
I have that book coming out. Now, me and my daughter and I co-wrote the book. My youngest one, she also helped with the inspiration of it. So it's a family affair
Yes,
type of
it
deal.
is, honey. And she's got your whole beautiful brown face with the nice smile. So, oh my goodness. So that means that double the trouble, double the fun. But oh my God, it's been amazing talking to you. It's been amazing hearing your story. I just hope that everybody that needs to hear it, that they got it, they grasp it, play this back, listen to it again, send it to your friends and share it, because absolutely everything that you said is what a young woman needs to hear. So I really appreciate it. For those that are listening, you are listening to our Breakthrough Podcast. I'm your host, vernaetaylor. This is the safe space where we can going to give you the breakthrough map to get from pain to purpose, from breakdown to breakthrough, from your past to living your greatest story. Make sure you like and subscribe our Breakthrough Podcast across all social media platforms. Make sure that you plug in and stay plugged in. Find Yolanda Yvette Speaks on all social media platforms. And until next time, keep breaking through. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you for tuning in to our Breakthrough Podcast, where we learn to navigate life's challenges and dare to live our greatest story. Follow our Breakthrough Podcast across all media platforms and subscribe. I'm your host, vernaetaylor. Till next time, keep breaking through.